So the horror film is a class I normally teach every couple of years, and I think it's my favorite course that I teach at Tufts, mainly because students are often very passionate about the horror film, and so naturally the question arises, well, why on earth would we subject ourselves to these experiences? Always, I think that conversation and hearing what students have to say about that is a process that I really, really enjoy. And it's still something that I think about a lot, and I have not come to a firm conclusion about this issue, even though I've been watching horror films for many, many years now. So I think anyone who teaches film dreads the question, what's your favorite film? I get that question a lot, and it's very, very hard to answer because there are so many incredible films in general, and then there are so many incredible horror films. I think films you watch when you're young often have a very profound impact on you. And I would say probably my number one favorite horror film is Halloween. And in some ways, the brilliance of the original film has been lost because of the number of sequels. Partly the novelty narrative of Halloween, where you have a masked killer killing people seemingly at random, and then partly the way it's filmed that I love so much about Halloween. Probably my second favorite horror film, at least that I show in my class, is Alien. And Alien was such an important film, came out roughly the same time as Halloween. It was such an important film because it had a very strong female protagonist. And I think it really is a seminal horror film, and still a very, very thrilling film to watch. My third favorite, at least of the ones that I teach in my class, is a more recent horror film, The Babadook. And I love this film. Jennifer Kent, this film is, I think, brilliant. It's very much about motherhood, the kind of ambivalent feelings a mother can have toward their child, and that's very, very taboo in our culture. And I think this is one of the great things about horror films, right, that they can address topics that are suppressed and taboo, even in our seemingly very liberal culture today. And this is a film that does that in a very powerful and compelling way. And then fourth, but not last, like the difference between these four is very, very slight in my mind, is American Psycho, which is also directed by a woman, Mary Harron. Reading the novel, you wouldn't think it could be adapted to the screen, but they did an incredible job, partly because Bale just does such a great job translating the main character, who's a psychotic. So it's a perennially fascinating topic, I think, why it is we enjoy horror films.